All right, we'll wait. After a while, StreamYard shows me the numbers that we have
Yes.
that are attending. It doesn't pop up right away, but as soon as I start seeing some people in attendance, then we'll start.
Okay.
And of course, I'm going to put all of your information at the bottom of the video after the show ends. And
so you like the suit? You like the suit that I grabbed for you?
Yeah, man.
You look dope in there. You look so smooth. I mean, that was smooth in there, man. I like that. Yeah. You should have your own magazine, brother. I keep telling you, man.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Need to have my own clothing line, right?
Yeah, yeah. That's how cool you look. Yeah. Yes, sir.
All right. Well, let's get started. A lot of people are going to watch this after the broadcast, obviously, because a lot of people tune into videos late at night and throughout the night, and of course into the morning. So, but I want to talk about being a father in 2021. A lot of things were turned upside down in 2020. And one of the things that we had to do as men, we had to maintain normalcy for our family, for our friends. We couldn't freak out. We couldn't react. We couldn't get emotional during 2020 with some of the craziness. And what I want to do is I want to talk about some tips for parenting children of any age, whether they be little ones, toddlers, all the way up to those that are going in college, high school and college.
Mm.
So my first point is this, Steve. Well, first of all, I need to introduce you. This is Steve Williams down in Texas. I'm up in Philly. He's in Texas. I cannot introduce you as good as you can introduce you. So why don't you tell my audience? They already knew who you are, but remind them.
Yes. Hey, first off, I am Tan Chocolate. This is my brother from another mother. He is a great man. I got to give him props. I got nothing but love, admiration, and respect for this man. And I am Steve Williams. I am I don't want to say a dating coach. I just teach manhood, but everything under the umbrella of manhood, from meeting, dating, children, marriage, engagement, living together. So I try to cover everything. Been married for my pedigree, I guess. I've been doing this for over 30 years, but I've been married with no problems for 21 years. So I kind of got a hand in everything. So yeah, so.
Well, as they say, it ain't bragging if you can do it. So the fact, right?
Yes, yes.
And I gotta say this too, because I think at our last talk, I had brought the fact that you have a very famous father. Tell everybody who your father is.
Yes, I have a famous father. My famous father is Ted Williams. He's on Fox U. He was on MSNBC for a little while, but he's on Fox now. So he's a lawyer and he does criminal. I don't know. They go to him. He's the go-to guy when it comes to laws and criminal and stuff like that. So
yeah. Very famous guy. Probably one of the most well-known consultants on the media today. When it comes to the law, criminal investigation, loopholes, and all that stuff. And the first time you told me that, I thought you were joking with me because I really like your father. When your father comes up, well, it's funny. Whenever your father, would come on TV, I would tell everyone, quiet, quiet, quiet. And so, yeah.
So that's where we get the personality from. So yes.
Yeah, definitely. All right. We're talking about 2021, being a father in 2021, speaking of fathers.
Yes.
And Steve Williams, you're one of my good friends. I trust what you say.
Thank you.
And I trust the information that you give my audience. I completely 100 trust them in your hands.
Thank you.
One of the first things about being a parent, about being a father, is this. If you say it, You own it. Once those words come out of your mouth to your kids, you can't call them back.
Yes.
How important are your words as a father to your children and to your wife?
They're very important, but before George, they're important to my kids and the wife. They got to be important to me. I've got to really trust myself enough to say what I see. What I teach is always talking about standing on your square.
Yep.
And what I mean by that is everything that I say and everything that I do, how I communicate, because I'm the one constant that communicates for me. I've got to make sure that I own what I say. I can stand by what I say. I know why what I'm saying, and I can fight for that, or just to protect it if need be. And it's got to be a trust with myself first, because as the leader of the household, I have to make sure that I just don't say things just to say them. You have to really sit back, not necessarily make cold, calculated moves, George, but you just have to know what it is that you're trying to get across, because it's a balance. The wife is different from the kids. The kids are impressionable. The wife is the wife, but you've got to find that middle ground. So it's a layers of things. It's not hard to do, but it's just when you do it, it's just a different way that you talk to your wife versus the way you talk to your kids, George.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. Who is the easier parent? I know kids tend to, they'll,
Um,
the classic answer, I see this, kids will ask mom something. Mom says, well, ask your dad. They ask the dad. He says, well, ask your mom. And the kids end up gravitating to the easier parent because they know they can get away with more. How does that dynamic work in the Williams household?
well, they go to mom, but I threw a wrench in that because I spoil the kids, because when they're they're honor roll students and stuff. So I love to spoil them. So they go to mom for everything. Mom's the go-to, but they love dad because dad is, I'm a big kid. I watch SpongeBob SquarePants. I mean, I grew up watching Dora the Explorer with him. So I'm just, dad's a big kid that will throw a pillow at him, throw water on him, chase him around. And I got this thing called Daddy Claw, where I just like, oh, here comes Daddy Claw. And they're like, I'm too old for that. Stop that, Dad. So, they get like college now. They're like, stop, Dad. But no.
Yeah.
But they do go to mom because, it's mom's nurturing. But for my sons, I make sure that they love mom, respect mom, but I kind of pull my sons away from mom and keep them more towards me to teach them how to be more of a man in this world when they go out that door.
Yeah. I like that. I've always heard catch them doing something right. Don't always pick out
Yes.
the wrong things that they're doing. Don't always try to set a trap for them or catch them doing the wrong stuff. When you see them doing something good,
Yes.
what do you think about that concept?
I think, yeah, I demand not excellence. I just demand just hard work. I'm fine if you get a bad grade, but the way my kids are is that we've set it up where they are not happy. That's the best part. They have more disappointment in themselves when they do boy. It's not because they're gonna get punished, but it's just how we set it up where they just have excellence in them. They just want to be good because again, it goes back to what my dad always told me that I always, I talk to you about all the time is, when I was small, my dad was like, this is how Williams eats a hamburger. This is how Williams walks. This is how Williams turns a light switch. This is how a woman buys a soda. This is how a woman, Williams opens the door. So what I did is I instilled that in my children, as in, when you do good in school, I don't reward you because you're doing good. I reward that you are responsible enough to take care of things yourself at your age without, you can always come to us for help, George, but I love the fact that we're teaching them how to be more independent and look to themselves for the answers, but all still come to us.
Yeah. Yeah. What about, did you ever hear the phrase, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree? Are your kids like you or are they like your wife?
They have the kindness of the wife, but they have the attitude of me. That's what I like that. They are very well mannered, properly. They speak. They don't speak unless they're heard. They greet people kindly and all that other stuff. But I did give them a little edge where, because we're in a time where people try to bully kids and, they try to. So my children know that you're not going to talk to me this way. I'm not going to start anything. I'm not going to, I'll walk away, but you're not going to talk to me. Now, not a teacher, they respect their teachers and things, but I teach them to stand on their ground. I'm not gonna punish you for protecting yourself. I got my kids in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I did all this in an early age because I know what kind of parent I am. And if I know someone's messing with my kid, they don't want me at that school. So I told my kids how to defend themselves. So if you defend yourself and you don't start it, you're allowed to defend yourself. And if you get suspended, I'm taking you for ice cream and video games because I'm saying that I'm glad that you can save yourself. Not save yourself, but protect yourself. I don't want the children to rely on me to be able to or hide behind me. I want them to be independent thinkers. So that's what's important to me.
I like that. I remember when my kids were little. I remember my daughter. A bad word came out of her mouth. And I have kids that don't curse. And I feel pretty good about that. And I'll never forget a word came out of my daughter's mouth and I said, "Where did you learn that?" She says, "You." And I thought, oops. Oops.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Same with me. I mean, with the show I do, I'm pretty like. That's why my office is as far as way possible. But because I yell, believe me, I'm sure all the curse words they know have come from the show that I do because I'm
right.
no tolerance guy. So they probably get it from me too. Yes.
Right. There's a concept called praise in public and reprimand in private. Take the kids aside, take them to their bedroom, take them to the dining room.
Yes.
Don't humiliate them in front of all the other kids or in front of people. What are your thoughts about that? I have struggled with that as in the past I was impulsive and I wanted to just like let it out and chew out one kid in front of everybody, and that never really worked.
Well, again, I grew up before the internet, so that was the best thing for me. I grew up in a time where it was a look. That's what I created. It was okay. We're going into Kmart, because the guys don't know it was Kmart. We're going into Kmart, and you better not. And if you do, you know what's coming. And all right, cool. And then as soon as we tried to do something, it was just and we knew right there. So what I did was I took that from the 70s and I did that with my kids. And it was just, again, they know that dad doesn't play. Dad's fun, dad's cool, but we don't do the slam your doors. We don't do the stomping up the stairs. We don't do talking back. I can't even remember a time any of my kids did the stuff that I see other kids doing nowadays. They're like, "Oh my God, Dad, why can you believe she said that to her parents?" I guess, but the way I did it was starting at a young age. Again, I give them the look, and they know when they get the look from dad, that means I got to slow down what I'm doing. I need to take a few steps back because dad doesn't play.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you ever have any projects that you do with your kids? I mean, other than like homework or anything like that, are there projects around the house? Anything that you've ever done from start to finish, whether it be maybe painting a room or doing some spring cleaning or building something, anything like that? Do you ever do any projects with the kids?
Yeah, a lot of great ones. Having the project of cutting the grass, project of washing dishes, the project of them folding their clothes, doing their own laundry, the project of learning how to cook. I mean, because home, I mean, you probably heard of home ec. A lot of people might not know what home ec is, but they don't have home ec anymore in school anymore. So those are my projects to every project I do is to set them up to be self-sufficient when they leave the house. So I started at a young age, doing the dishes, doing the laundry, sweeping the floors, feeding the dogs, taking the dogs for a walk, cutting the grass, all the things that I did when I was young, I push upon them. But those are the projects. But painting, I haven't did. I know not painting or anything like that, but basically washing the car, just things and that can help them be better people later on when they grow up.
Yeah, yeah. It I think when you finally launch them, when they turn 18, 19, whatever, when they go away to college,
Yes.
uh, if they've never done laundry, boy, they're in for a shock when they go to college and go, wait a minute, you know, mom did my laundry all these years. Now I got to figure out how to do it.
Yes.
And I think it's good to have chores. What do you think of chores around the house?
Well, from a person that did them all the time, I didn't like them, but now as I got older, I understood why they were important. And that's what I transferred to the kids. See, a lot of children right now, they will never understand the why until they get older, they have kids, and it is that time. The best moment for me, for my son that's in college now is sitting down and saying, Dad, he doesn't have any kids or anything, but he's like, I see now why you did what you did. I see now, even though I didn't like what you wanted me to do, but I see that I don't have to rely on anybody. He knows any of my kids know they can come to me anytime they want. I'm always there. But my supportive role is kind of like the son. I kind of keep a distance, but around close enough where they know they can reach me because I am trying to teach them to be independent people where they rely on themselves and be responsible for what they do.
That's excellent. What about constant and never ending improvement? What if you see a child stagnating, just kind of, they're not growing, they're being antisocial, they're staying in a lot, they're watching a lot of TV, they're quiet at the dinner table. Um, is your family the kind of family that, like, where you would pull the kid aside or you would talk about it as a family at the dinner table? What what did Steve Williams do?
Well, the good thing that we did is that we had them open. I mean, they could always come and talk to us. But as far as stagnant, we had a plan, and the plan that we set up was before I even had kids. It was a plan. It was a not only about discipline, Halloween, birthdays, college, and all this other stuff. The plan I had was a great plan of attack was when they're in the first grade in the summer, they're going to start studying second grade, and when they're in the second grade in the summertime, but before you go out and have fun and all that, which you can, we're gonna help you have a step ahead of everybody else where you're gonna start doing the next grade assignments, learning how to write and read and all the other stuff. So we pushed that from summer to summer. So that's where we had no problems with that. But we always had, again, open door policy. If you have something bothering you, we could talk about it. But we're such a, again, I'm a big kid, so all we do is joke, laugh, and have a good time. And they're like, Dad, grow up type deal. Come on, Dad. You're acting like a big kid. I'm a big kid. And I'll throw a piece of food at him. That's how but we always had fun. We never, we're a weird family because I don't see, I've always lived by I don't look at problems. I look at solutions. A problem to me is a meteor the size of Jupiter coming towards Earth. So I'm always been solution based. So what I've always did is I've always looked at things before they could happen. Not that I could solve them before they could happen, but I could kind of see where things are going. So then I know that I could kind of steer it in a certain direction before it comes to us, and we got to handle it right then, man.
I like that. Let's talk about privacy in the family.
Yes,
Now, your kids are older, my kids are older, but when they were little,
yes,
I remember sticking them all in the bathtub together with the bubbles, and it
yes,
was fun. And they'd come out and you throw a towel around them, whatever, and you know, a kid would be running naked through the house to their bedroom, whatever. And then there was a certain point where you just don't want naked kids running through the house. You start teaching them about privacy and modesty and stuff like that. I remember there was a certain point, I don't know, it might have been like 4 or 5, somewhere around there, where I bought bathrobes for the kids. And I'm like, you, when you leave the bathroom, you put on you put on a bathrobe after you take your bath. And
Yes.
if you're walking through the house, you have your bathrobe on. You don't go sprinting through the house naked, whatever. And I started teaching them how to be modest.
Yes.
When you're getting dressed or changing, you close the door of your bedroom, things like that.
Yes.
Because it's going to be a very harsh reality if they grow up just not
Yes.
having those kind of standards.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
at what age, what do you think is a good age to teach kids to start covering up? Put on your bathrobe, put a towel around you. You know what I mean? Like at what age is appropriate to do that?
It's very early. I would say to me like 4 or 5 to me, because see, my whole thing is that uh for me, when they were itty bitty babies, I could take baths with them and all that stuff. Even for me,
Yeah.
I stop. It was a point where okay, dad's not supposed to be in the tub with you, and you're not supposed to be in the tub. But girls can be in the tub with girls, boys can be in the tub with boys, but we're
Yeah.
not to interact the two. So it was just I would say like 4 or 5. It was really really early, because I don't want them to feel like that I should be in the bathtub with a girl.
Yeah.
She's more parts than you have, and you're not really her. So yeah, what I did was, if it was time to do it, the girls would go upstairs with mom. I would go downstairs with the boys. Even for me, I'm too pull back even from my daughters, even though I'm not weird or creepy, but I wanted them to be more with mommy,
Yep.
and I'll be more with my boys, because that was daddy time with my sons. Also, while we're giving the bath, where we could talk, not man talk, but start to talk and create our own language for ourselves and stuff. Just like for my daughters with their mom, where they can start, lean into mom to learn things more about being a lady, and I'm more about being a man. So that's how it was working.
Yeah. Yeah. That's very similar to how I operated. And
Yes.
the ages are similar. Like that 4, 5 is when you start teaching
Yes.
kids
Yes.
about privacy and such. Yeah.
Yes.
This is a call-in show. If somebody has a question, they can call the number scrolling at the bottom
Yes.
and ask. And then also, too, somebody can ask a question. If they want to ask something in the chat, that's fine. If they want to provide a super chat, that's fine, too.
Yes.
Let's go on to the next topic.
Absolutely.
If it's true that men and women are different, which they are, that means boys and girls are different. And you did touch upon that. There's a certain age where little kids are kind of like the same. You know what I mean? Little boys and little girls. And then, like you said, the boys start doing boy things and the girls start doing girl things.
Yes.
At what age do the boys start doing boy things and girls start doing girl things? What do you think?
I quote unquote what I call cut the umbilical cord around 6 or 7 for my boys. I try to show, listen, love your mom, respect your mom, but we've got to listen. I don't mind them, all that, sleeping with mom and all that other stuff that they could get away with when they were young. I started to take that away bit by bit, because I needed to show them how men are supposed to begin the process, or boys supposed to begin the process of manhood. Now, for my daughters, even though mom was doing the thing with my daughters, the thing that I had, that I gave my daughters, is I allowed my daughters to see how mom and dad interacted, so my daughters can have an idea of how men and women react, but also how mom mom cooked and mom how, and again, I'm sorry, it's more, I'm more like a 1950 traditional. I'm like old school. So how mom cooked and how mom, served me first and how mom, all those things. So they started to learn that, this is how traditional roles are. But my boys, I was tougher on my boys because I wanted to show my boys that, outside that world, because, I'm in an interracial relationship. So you got to understand that the color of your skin, even though their skins, they look more lighter or more white, and you got to understand that, not the world is not an evil place, but there are evil people in the world. So we've got to prepare you for the ridicule and the things that's going to happen as a half black, half white kid. So, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, we have a question here. What is the hardest part of being a father and a parent? What would you say?
The hardest part of being a father and a parent is really watching them grow up, and just it's just what it's not even hard. I only say it's hard. The hardest, gosh, what's the hardest part? Because I love duplicate. See, I'm just egotistical, right? You can tell behind I'm egotistical, but I duplicated me just like my father duplicated me, and the hardest part to me is right now, like I can't play video games with my kids. We would play video games. We would play games. We turn out all the lights in the house and we play tag with the flashlights. It's those things. It's when I miss the Halloween, taking it for Halloween. We do Christmas still together, but because they're older now and they're starting on their pathways towards their adulthood, they're pre-adults. It's just, that's the hardest thing. Just you can never get this back, guys. You miss those, like when they're sitting there watching or coloring with the Blues Clues, George, or we're watching Dora the Explorer, and all. I mean, that's the stuff I miss, because that was really the one-on-one time where it was just, I don't know. It's just, I think to me, that's the hardest thing. Just they're doing their own thing, George. I think that it's just them. They're going about their adult life, and they're not the kid. Like, they're not my kids. They're not my babies anymore, type thing. So that'll probably be it. Man.
Yeah. It's interesting now that I don't know if it's half of marriages are ending in divorce or something like that. A lot of people now, kids are growing up in two homes, dad's home and mom's home. And I have found that a lot of dads want their children to be independent, and moms baby the kids more.
Yes.
So they come to dad's house, and we got to address these broken homes. They come to dad's house and there's rules.
Mm-hmm.
Back at mom's house, well, we don't have to do that at mom's house. Mom said we don't have to do that.
Right.
What advice would you give the parents where kids are bouncing between two homes?
The first advice I have to let them know is that mom and dad love you. Even though we're not together, we love you and everything, and we support you. But again, I think that's the first thing they got to understand, that, you're coming from a two-parent home. You just got to understand that this is the life it is. It doesn't mean that we don't love you. It's just that mom and I just are not compatible enough. And that's something that you got to really talk to your kids about. You got to let them know. I mean, it's going to be difficult because sometimes you're going to feel like you're missing out because you want both parents there. I'm sorry, it just doesn't work out that way, but it doesn't mean we don't love you any less. It's just that mom and I are not working out. So it's just something that you got to see. For me, and the reason why I have such success is because I'm not like the regular parent that's going to coddle their kid from the truth. This is what it is. And again, we're here for you. It's going to make you upset, but I rather you understand that outside your door is not sunshine and rainbows. Outside your door is not the perfect life, the perfect world that most parents do to these kids by lying to them, by shielding them from certain truths out there. I'm not there to scare you, but I'm there to let you see. So that's why they're really prepared, and that's why they're honor roll students, and that's why. And for Jared, that's what they love school. I don't know what Jared's kids. I don't know what your kids, Jared, but Whoever said that in the chat room, my kids love school. They love great. They're going to one. We're going to have the first doctor, George, in the family. She's going to Baylor. She's in Baylor right now.
Good school.
Yeah. So we're going to have another engineer, another psychiatrist. So they want excellence, not because of me. It's because I put them in a position to see what excellence is like. And they wanted to grasp that brass ring, George.
Ian Simmons with a super chat. Thank you, sir. At what age would you start to teach your children personal finance and tracking their personal finances?
George, for me, again, I just duplicate. I remember, George, back in the day, we had a thing called marbles, guys. And marbles, we dig a hole in a certain area. And whatever marble you hit in that hole, you kept the marble. So, George, I was terrible at marbles because I kept losing. So when I was around like 7 or 8, I was, Mom, Dad, can I get some marbles? They're like, no, I'm not giving you any money. Go make your money. Go cut some grass. So I started cutting grass, or I started bagging groceries just to get money, to get marbles, to lose them again. But I kept doing it because I just got passion. So for me, I believe in a work ethic at a young age. So you're going to earn your keep. Don't get it wrong. We're going to feed you, clothe you, put shelter over your head. But all the extra stuff are things that you might have to work for. And that's where, George, it goes back to they were washing dishes. I mean, I did that at a young age. I don't see nothing wrong with a 6 or 7-year-old washing dishes, folding their own clothes, and doing their own laundry. It helped them in the long run. So with even money, financial wise, it was very important to show them $1. It was very important. Now, and again, it was kind of weird because we go to the country club some of the times, and even though we had a part of the country club, we had to let them know that this is not real. This is what Mom and Dad have created. This ain't you. This ain't yours. This is not you. You don't get to live this lifestyle just because you're our kids. No. We're going to start you from the beginning and ground up to get you to work and know the price of $1. Now, again, yeah, they had nice things, George, but these were things that were earned because, again, they were just really good kids. No arguments, no door slams. I mean, we're just a weird family because of how we set things up, of course. But it was all about learning the dollar. And we're going to give you some money. If you want something, you spend it. Okay. But we're going to make sure why you're spending. Okay. You want to buy this? Why do you want to buy it? Why is this important? Why can't you wait for this or that? So we pushed that at an early age, George. And it is just paying off dividends right now because the kids right now, they have their own bank accounts. They don't ask for money. They don't even ask for. You know what's so funny, George? I offer money and they're like, "No, I'm good, Dad." I'm okay, cool. I'll just put it back. They're so self-sufficient that they're not even asking. They won't ask for anything. I mean, unless it's Christmas, I got to force it down their throat. But that's how I set it up, man.
Yeah. There's a question here. Let's see, a comment. Calderon says, I'm 34 years old, had a life-threatening injury. I'm sorry to hear that, sir. 4 years ago, due to injury, I can't be a regular dad for my kids, ages 8, 6, and 4. Physically, I'm limited. What advice can you give me in this situation? Yes. Well, I'll take this.
Yes.
Mr. Calderon, I will tell you this, that's all your kids know. If it happened 4 years ago, your 4-year-old only knows you with your limitations. So you are still Superman to him no matter what. The 6-year-old doesn't remember when you were not injured. The 8-year-old might, but they're growing up with a dad, and that's their dad. You are their father.
Yes.
You're not going to be out climbing Mount Everest. You're not going to, you're physically limited, but you're not mentally limited. Children are going to benefit from your wisdom, and that didn't get injured. Maybe your body got injured, but your wisdom hasn't gotten injured. What do you think of that, Steve?
Yeah, I first off, I thank you. That's a great question. I just want to let you know, and I apologize, and I'm sorry for the threatening injury, but let me tell you something, man. Your kids see you as Superman. They look up to you, and Don't, it just as an advice, whenever you're down, I know things happen, but there's nothing, if you can't get up, you can still be in the bed with them watching Walt Disney shows. You can still be in the bed coloring books. You can still be in the bed playing video games if you allow them to have video games in your house. I mean, every house is different, but any activities that you have, even from homework, you can have them come in the room and you can play with them. Hell, if you have sons and you're in the room, you can grab a Nerf ball and throw it from your bed and have them catch it. You can, don't use your limitation, and I'm not saying you are, as a reason why you can't do things. You just got to modify, brother. That's all you got to do. Just as long as you modify, everything you do outside with them, you can do from the comfort of your bed if you're in bed. George, what you think on that, brother?
Yeah, I think that's good. It's interesting how there's times like my father, who's older now, he's in his mid 80s, and he's not going to do the physical labor that he did when he was younger.
Yes.
But he's got wisdom. I'm not going to call him I'm not going to call him and say, "Hey, Dad, can you help me carry a cord of wood into the garage? Can you help me replace the transmission in this car?" I go to my father for his wisdom now, not for his muscles. When I was younger, "Hey, Dad, can you help me put up this fence? Can you help me, set up some drywall and such, do some work around the house?" But as my dad's gotten older and less physically able, what I value now from my father is his wisdom more than anything. And that just means pick up the phone and talk to Dad.
Yes.
And I think, Mr. Calderon, I think that you've got to jump on us. If you're not physically able to go out there and dig a ditch and build a garage and put a new engine in the vehicle, with your kids as they get older, you do have the wisdom that you can share with them. And that is what they're going to cherish. It's, every kid is going to remember certain things about their father growing up. The father was strong. The father was wise. The father could cook. The father could build. He could fix anything. I grew up in a kind of house where we never took our cars to mechanics. My dad was the guy, you fix it. You find out what's wrong with it, tinker around in it, get under the hood.
Wow.
If you can't fix it, I'll help you. If we can't fix it, then it'll go to the mechanic. But we never, ever took the car to a mechanic first. It was always like, "Dad, can you help me? My car won't start."
Yeah.
And then even before he got out of his chair, he would say, "All right, do you have enough fuel in it? Do you have a spark?"
Yes.
Because you need fuel and spark for an engine to turn over and this kind of stuff. So, Mr. Calderon, I do believe that the wisdom that you have is what your children are going to remember.
Yes.
You're not going to be running marathons with them, because of your physical limitation, but they will be looking to you for wisdom.
Yeah, and I just want to say, Mr. Cameron, real quick, even though your situation is your situation, you can always hug them. You always tell them how proud you are. And you can always tell them, whatever your last name is, sir, this is how we act. And that's something that you got to instill in your sons and your daughters. And even my children, they're older, I hug them. I will bear hug them. I give them, every time they say it, it's, you can't come into this house without hugging. You can't, no matter how old you are, you got to give us a hug. But what I'm saying for you, Ms. Cameron, is that I understand you're having a problem, but your kids see you as Superman, hug them, tell them, you know what, Dad loves you, Dad's here for you, and let them know, even what your situation is, whatever your last name is, this is how we turn, like George was saying, with the car, fixing the car, turn on a light switch, how you brush your teeth, how you fix even for cereal. My father was like, this is how Williams pulls the cereal in the bowl, pour the milk in the bowl to get a spoon in there, eat it. Just to that. But kids love that stuff, man. They love it, George.
That's great.
Yes.
Something that you said, I'm trying to think when I first heard it. And it definitely came out of your mouth, because you and I both, we run in circles with a lot of guys that say a lot of great things. And one of the things that you have said was, you're either the man of the house or just a man in the house.
Yes, yes.
Talk about that.
There are other two types of men you can be: a man in the house or a man of the house. Now, if you are a man in the house, that's just you're a shell of yourself, and meaning that happy wife, happy life. I'm sleeping on the couch. I don't want to make mom mad. I don't want to make upset. Mom's yelling at you, disrespecting you in front of the kids. Kids don't like you, and there's a lot of problems. Not to say that leads into drugs and drinking, but sometimes the kids find ways to lash out. But when you're a man of the house, that means I am king. My wife, yes, is queen. But please understand this. This is not happy wife, happy life. I don't live by that term. And it's not, if I'm not happy, no one's happy. I don't use like play on words. I don't like that stuff. I'm a Williams. That's all I know that I am. And as a Williams, it is my responsibility and my duty to keep this family moving forward, even in high times, good times, tough times, or fun times. I've got to keep this thing forward. But with that being said, that I do, and I don't want to say do, but the wife is the balance. It's got to be a balance between two. So it's very important for kids to see dad in strong roles, seeing mom in feminine roles, but also seeing mom and dad come together as a loving couple, because it begins to nurture the girls and teach the boys things about relationships and things like that. Seeing mom and dad having a good time and all other stuff. So when you're a man of the house, you have your hand in every cookie jar. Even though I'm not good at accounting, George, and she does the accounting, but we sit down, because we go on dates for the last 21 years. We go on dates every week for the last 21 years. So sometimes we sit down, we talk about the books. We open the books up and we talk that over, and this is what we're doing. And all right, cool. As the man, I need to be in the loop of everything, because when there's a decision being made, my wife expects me to make final decision. I don't make it that way, but I always laugh. My wife is like I always tell her she's like a Quaker from the 1800s, because she's really like old fashioned. So she's like, you know what? I will present it, and I just want you to go ahead and make the final decision. Unless you say, just go ahead and do it. Steak or chicken. Pick what you want. So.
It's funny. I was just thinking of Coach EO, and he just adds a super chat here. Thank you, sir.
EO.
Yeah. He says, George, did you ever have a one-night stand with a Greek woman in Chicago back in 1980? People say I could be your boy. Salute GB and my guy, the Dean. Great topic. Have a great evening, everyone. He popped in. That's good. Well, I that's pretty funny. Speaking of EO, he's the guy that says what it begins and ends
with the man. Begins and ends with the man. Yes, absolutely. He could be your son. Cool. Y'all both cool.
He very well could be, and we'll talk about that topic on another time. Yes. But I remember you saying probably a couple years ago. I remember the first time I met you. You were talking about, and it was like talking to young men about women, and you were saying, is she worthy of your name?
Yes.
I'll never forget that.
Yes.
And with your kids, you're teaching your kids, hey, you're a Williams.
Yes.
Explain that.
I am teaching my kids to forge their own hammers. I have, now there's a rule in the house. Again, I no disrespect to anybody, but I always tell my kids, I'm not going to be no bastard granddad. There's a rule here. We're going to do it the right way. We go to the school, you're going to get your job, you're going to get your life right. And then when you're ready to have kids, that's what I put. But things happen, but we've always pushed that. But I always make sure my kids wield their hammers. And that's what I did at a young age, to learn the importance of their name. Their name is everything. Their name will supersede all the high school drama, all the drama, the gossip in junior high that you've got to go through that storm. But at the end of the day, always, again, in the streets, they call it stand on your square, but stand on your name. And when you forge that, what you're saying is that, okay, are you worthy enough to lift my hammer to get my attention, to see if you're worth my time? And remember, right, to fall in respect, George, not love, to fall in respect, and then go from that point. But I also teach them what I teach my students as well. Every phase, from meeting and dating, you got to have a standard to your hammer. From relationships, that's got to be a standard for your hammer. When you're moving in with a woman, that's got to be a standard. When you're engaged, that's got to be a standard. When you're married. So everything you're doing, George, you're kind of going up the mountain. So it's not only for my boys, it's for girls too, and for my daughters as well. The standard has got to be set by you and you alone, and you have got to realize what you are, and you cannot budge. There are going to be times you want to give up. There are going to be times you're going to want to say, you know what? I love this person so much, I'll change or I'll compromise my standards. And I teach them, we do not compromise. What you see is what you get. Love me, or excuse me, respect me first for who I am, and we go as one. But I'm not going to change who I am or my makeup just to please you or make you happy, because a man or a woman's job isn't to make somebody else happy. I teach them it's our job to make them feel special.
Yeah. Yeah. Look at 21 Studios. He adds I love 21. That's the number, man. 21. That's the winning number. That is the number. Thank you, Anthony. Appreciate that.
A1, baby.
All right. Show interest in your kids, and they will do the same with you. To this day, my daughter will say to me things like, Dad, remember when we did this? Or remember when we used to go feed the geese and the ducks all the time? Remember when we went fishing? Remember when we would go to that certain movie theater? Remember when we went to that coffee house and we saw the cross-dresser? My daughter always says that one. There was a guy there with like a 5 o'clock shadow. And this was before the whole transgender thing. I don't even think transgender was a word yet. Honestly, I don't even think it was a word. But there was a dude who had a 5 o'clock shadow, wore a wig and a dress. And when my daughter was little, we went to this coffee house to listen to live music, and she'd be poking me, and she'd say, Dad, look over there. I'm like, honey, I know, I see it. Like, and I'm just trying to, I didn't want to.
Yeah.
And she kept. So to this day, all right, my daughter's 24.
Yes.
She would say to me, remember when I was little and we saw that cross-dresser?
Yes.
And and it's something that we like laugh about, and we just some weird, precious times. Do you have any like interesting times with your kids that you had when they were little that they remind you of?
Yeah, my kids, see, I'm going to put some stuff out there because I don't even talk about my kids and my wife work together to get me. They always working together because, see, I'm a prankster. So I'm the kind of dad that when they're taking a shower, I'll get some cold water and dump it on the other side. I mean, I'm a huge prankster. I'll put water on top of the doorway so when they push it, if I'm a big prankster. So they work together with their mom, and sometimes they don't come up with things. So one time, and there's 2 times, and I'm ashamed to say this, but I'll tell you. So the one time I'm taking a nap, they all got together and painted my feet with fingernail polish. And then, the wife woke me up and said, I need something from Walmart or Target. They gave me my flip-flops. I ain't look. And here I am walking around Target with my toenails painted. They got me on that one, right? The second one, they got me where the wife had a photo of me and I think my brother-in-law or me and my friends. So she gave me a slap on the butt, but what she did was she taped the picture to my butt, sent me out to eat, sent me to Walmart again, and I'm walking around the store with a taped picture of me and some guys on my butt, and people are just like glad, like giggling. I'm like, what? I'm just like doing. So they love the prank, but that's how. Now I did get them one time. And I know I shouldn't have did this, but they got me so good one time. I did the laxative brownies. I did it one time. I had to get some payback. But we love these. So those are moments they think about, they love, and they remember. And I tell you the best time. Other than those things, one of the best times is my wife loves 80s rap, Run DMC and Houdini, LL Cool J, right? So when we're in the car, they are always singing rap songs from the 80s. I'm like driving and everything, and they're like, they just start rapping and everything, and the kids start rapping and everything, and it's just like, I know, again, so we're a weird family, but we're just so bonded that we have fun. But it's just so many memories, man. We make tons of them, man.
That's great. That
Yeah.
is great. Hey, we have a guy that's in the chat, and
Yes.
it's John Hoover,
Okay.
and he is the name Budapest Mole. He also lives in Texas as well. So, what's the big city that you live near, Steve?
I live near Sugarland. I'm like in Richmond, so I live near Sugarland, 20 miles outside of Houston. So yeah, I'm
Okay.
next door to Sugarland. Yeah, close to Sugarland.
Excellent. John Hoover, put in the chat what big city you are near. I know Texas is a big state. Some people will say, I like Pennsylvania is a pretty big state. It's not as big as Texas, but somebody will say to me, "Hey, I went to college with the guy from Pennsylvania. Do you know?" They would say the guy's name, and I would say,
Right.
"Do you actually think I would know?" I mean, Pennsylvania is a very big state. From Philly to Pittsburgh is a 6-hour drive. So most likely, I don't know. So when I got two people from Texas on the
Yeah.
show here tonight, so
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay. Steve is. John says
Austin. He's in
Austin. Okay.
Yeah, so he should know. Well, we drive through Austin when we go to Six Flags. They don't have Six Flags anymore, so we go cut through Austin sometimes and things like that. So, but I thought he was going to probably say close to Houston because I was going to tell about River Oaks where I give my wife her bread. I sneak away on Saturdays, and that's something that kids notice as well. They know every Saturday, at least once a month, that I sneak away and I drive 30 miles in town just to get her favorite baked apricot bread. But I want the kids to see that this is how dads and moms react. So they love that kind of stuff. But yes.
Excellent. All right. Let's talk about non-electronics. Let's talk about the analog life. Obviously, your kids grew up with video games. Video games. Did you ever do anything that's not electronic? Like, did you ever play cards or roll dice or dominoes? Like physical things? Board games.
George, I'm not from the hood, but no, George, we dominoes, spades, wall ball, pin dodgeball, army dodgeball, throw up tackle. We played 21, Mother May I, Marco Polo. We rode our bikes. We played tag. We did play some high go get. We played some other things, but no, but we look. We were not home. It was this rule right here, George. Be home when the light come on. When the street lights come on, you got to be home. Saturday morning, it was Saturday morning cartoons. Eat my cake, Fruity Pebbles. Eat my little Fruity Pebbles. And I'm outside. I'm outside all day, George. Even when it was cold outside, we would draw lines in the field and play football, kickball. George, we lived, marbles, we did it all, George, even though we had the video games, we played, man. We come home smelling, hey, George, and then we got home, and if it was like Thanksgiving, after we took our bath and everything, it was Snoopy, Charlie Brown, it was the CBS special cart. Man, we lived, George. Oh, man, we lived, brother. Man,
I do enjoy getting away from electronics.
Yes.
I enjoy getting away from all that, and give me a good board game. Give me checkers. Game of checkers. Monopoly. I mean, that's great stuff.
Yes,
that's great stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Next topic. We're just floating through a lot of things here. Well, with women, we like to say attention is the currency of women. If you want to, if a woman wants to feel important and valued, you got to pay attention to her. Attention is the currency,
Yes.
and I guess now with all this like sugar daddy stuff, it's not just attention, money is the currency too, from what I understand.
Yes.
I I wasn't aware that there were I wasn't aware that there were women who will hook up with you if you pay their bills. I mean, like literally, your cable bill, your cell phone bill, your car payment. Don't worry, I got you hooked up. I guess that's a thing, right? That's going on,
Yeah, but that works both ways, George. When you have game, I would say I don't know.
right?
I know you was in that radio thing. Hey, this is George Bruno. What's up, girls? Throw me your panties. I mean, I know you was cool in the other side of the pillow, George, but it
Yep.
worked both ways. When you had game, women will fund your lifestyle. But I figured there's a question coming because I was about to go on a tangent, but it's because women will fund. It's not even fair how it works. Christmas they will buy me gifts. Valentine's Day they would cook for me. All that other stuff. It was great, man. It was the worst part about being a player back in the day was what we call sucker me season now. It's Thanksgiving, Christmas, and Valentine's Day for me.
Oh yeah.
We cut all the women off because how do you deal with the ones that cry that want you to I want you to come spend Thanksgiving with my family. Then you got the ones that say, I want to cook for you for Thanksgiving. Then you got the ones that say, I want you to come over. So you got to kind of, weed those women out. Same with Christmas. But I mean, I'm just saying, guys, George took it there. I thought we go family, but George coming out of him, guys. I told you he cold. I told you.
Speaking of Valentine's Day, we're going to get off the subject just for a second now. Valentine's Day is coming up.
Yes.
My experience is this, that women get real lovey-dovey when it comes close to Valentine's Day.
Mm.
They want a boyfriend on Valentine's Day.
Yes.
From what I understand on like dating websites and all this stuff, it's easier to find a woman the closer you get to Valentine's Day. Men are like, I don't want to be spending money on some temporary chick, so men back off. Women come closer on Valentine's Day. What are your thoughts about that?
I always tell guys, Valentine's Day is the Super Bowl of everything because it's the one day of the year where they don't feel whole if they don't have a Valentine. Some women will buy themselves flowers and have the flowers delivered in the office or somewhere, and they'll play like, I got a secret admirer, and they know it's from them. It's the one day it's the one day they're desperate to be a Valentine. Their self, and I won't say all, but their self-worth is tied into being somebody's Valentine for some reason. And I tell guys, that's when the fangs and the claws come out because they're a little more desperate, they're a little more needy, and they're a little more aggressive. And that's what I used to do before the COVID, George. I used to set guys up. We used to have on the show, I would have a Valentine's Day show where you tell me which city you in, I will tell you where to go and how to meet these women because these women are like just waiting to meet guys, and they want guys with personality. And the guy that has a personality, especially karaoke, George. Oh man, George. When I was George, karaoke, man. Our dog Bulldog mindset. God, love you, Bulldog.
Hey, John, good to see you, man.
Yeah, karaoke, man. I would say, George, this is how I do it. I'm like, hey, George, okay, I'm going to tell you and your brother. Okay, George, you play bass guitar, and your brother, Tony, you play drums. And what we're going to do is we're going to dance to this song, and I'm going to jump off the stage. I'm going to grab a woman. I'm going to dance with her. I'm going to come back on stage. And I had women literally stuffing dollars in my pants doing karaoke on Valentine's Day at these things. And George, when I sat down, George, it was like the women were just coming up to me. It is just not fair. But George, and sorry, ladies, but I'm talking to the guys. It's Valentine's Day. You could clean up, guys. Oh my goodness.
That's funny. That is funny. Oh my gosh. Yeah, John Somna's Bulldog Mindset is in the house.
That's
good friend
boy.
And
yes,
brother. Good guy. We met him this year. We all knew him from YouTube, but we all shared a stage
Yes.
last October, and it was
Great
a
man.
pleasure to get to know him. He's a
Yes.
gentleman, a scholar, a man's man, a ladies' man, and definitely worthy of getting to know. Yeah.
Yes.
Vivian says, this is one of the things that makes a dude think you don't care. If you aren't rabid over Valentine's Day, you're not normal. I think it is kinder to let dudes off the hook on Valentine's Day. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, 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 yeah. But the guys aren't rabid because the women, you know, you turn on your TV, right? Every kiss begins with K. You know, and the women want to feel. I'm not saying you're not whole, ladies, because I don't want to be disrespectful. I'm saying that a lot of women put a lot into Valentine's Day because that's the day of love, you know, and you know, hey George, again, I'm smooth than the other side of the pillow. You know, I got some smooth Valentine's Day game for the ladies. I mean, for the guys out there, for only the ladies that deserve it, George. Only ladies that
Yeah.
deserve it. Okay. I mean, can I give you some game real quick, George? So what I say is this: don't give her anything Valentine's Day morning. Don't do it. Valentine's Day morning is when everybody else delivers the flowers, the chocolates, the bears, and the roses. Okay. What I want you to do now, this is for someone special. What I want you to do is I want you to bring the flowers, the bear, the chocolate, and the roses at lunchtime to the restaurant that you're going to eat at. Now, part of this is player, and part of this is if you're in a relationship. Now, if you're a player, you give them a stack of your business cards because the women gonna want to know who you are. Now, what I do is this: is when I ask for dessert, I want the waiter to bring one item out every 5 minutes, meaning that everybody's Valentine's Day is over with. Women love being the center of attention, George. So here we are, we're eating and all this other stuff, and all of a sudden they have the balloons, all attention on us. She gets the balloons, you know, her eyes start welding up, and then she gets the chocolate, then she gets the teddy bear. But then when they bring the roses in, I get out my chair, I grab the roses, I sit in her lap, kiss her, and just sit back and watch her melt. And that's some game right there, George. That's for someone that deserves, George.
This is why when guys want to know what to do with their woman and they don't have that creative edge to them, men, there's nothing wrong with asking another man
Yes.
how to sharpen your edge a little bit. Actually, that's funny because that's one of the things that you do in your coaching, isn't it?
Yes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Easter's the same way, George. I mean, I know we're going to probably do something around Easter, but the same thing on Easter. Like George, the average guy on Easter, they just either go to church and they just go home, right? Not my guys. No. George, I'm going to go to Party City. I'm going to get me the toy handcuffs. I'm going to get me the blindfold, and I'm going to get me the rope, and I'm going to go get me an Easter basket, and I'm going to put that in the bottom of the basket, George. Then I'm going to go to Walmart and grab that green grass stuff, and I'm going to put that on top of the basket, George. Then I'm going to go get a bunch of hollow eggs, and then I'm going to go to my computer, and I'm going to take up sexual things I can do to her, sexual things she can do to me. I'm going to rip them up and put them in every egg, and I'm going to put the eggs all over the apartment or the house. And when she comes over, I'm going to give her an Easter basket and say, go Easter egg hunting. I'm going to change the game up because they're not even used to that. It's fun. It's sexual. It's exciting. Come on, George. You know what's up, baby. White chocolate, baby. Come on.
This is great stuff. I hope these guys are taking notes here. I really do. I have about 92% men and 6 to 8% women. So I don't know how. Well, we have Vivian here tonight. I think Peekaboo is with us.
Yes.
Ian Simmons says this is gold.
Ian.
John Bulldog Mindset is giving us a little hand clap there. That's good.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. But real quick, gentlemen. Or you do this. Instead of waiting for Valentine's Day, when she comes home, just get a little bit of lotion, put it in the microwave for 10 seconds. When she comes home, give her a full body massage. Or if you have a woman or wife or have children, go ahead and have the children already fed, have them in bed, have them relaxed. Let her come home. You go ahead and put the bubble bath and the candles in there. Have some nice music in there. Have her favorite wine in there. Say, baby, you go in there and relax. I'm gonna go ahead and take care of the kids. I got to take care of everything. I know you had a long day at work. Cause see, when you're real good with the woman, you know when she's having a bad day. So you don't even have to ask. You just react. Yeah, see why you trying to laugh. Yeah, so you give her the bubble bath, let her have her wine, let her relax, and that's just the first part. Second part is not just for sex, guys, because it's not just for sex. I want her to lay down, take her clothes off. I'll put just like I'm a masseuse, I'll put the towel over her body and I'll work a part of her body to give her a full body massage and just a kiss on the cheek just because it's little things like that say, you know what? I'm going to buy him some for Valentine's Day. I'm going to do something for him. You do that all year long, man. Come on, it's game, George.
Michael Finn says, that's great. He loves that. Let's see. William McCullough says, Easter has taken on a new meaning.
Yes.
That's true. Lana, one of my new followers here, she says, guys, we're sitting here as women and taking notes. What makes a man tick? Teach us, she says. So that's interesting. One of my lady followers says, what makes a man tick? So let's answer her question. Steve, what makes a man tick?
What makes a man tick is a man that is assertive, that is dominant, that has laws, rules, codes, principles, narratives, mission statements, law statements, legacy statements. He embodies himself and he learns himself, but he learns also not just who he is, he also learns who he is when he's with women. Meaning that he learns his sexual side, his sensual side, his romantic side, his seductive side. He can shift down and lower his kinky side, his dirty side, his nasty side, and be able to shift up and down, but also be willing enough to be able to adjust to the woman that he's dealing with, to know that every woman isn't the same. So what you got to do is you got to take your time and learn more about the woman's character and not her body, and see if her character matches her beauty, to see if she's worthy enough to wield the hammer that he lays down, and that's his name, George.
Bam. I mean, there's no way I could ever beat that. We have one fella here. He says, I would like to run my Valentine's Day plan past you guys. Well, put it in the chat.
Yes.
And we'll comment on it.
Yes.
Let's see.
Call, George. I'm sorry. I apologize. Yeah. Call. Let's bring the call in. Area code 330. Sorry for the wait, sir. What's your question, sir?
Hey, how you guys doing tonight?
Good.
I'm the one who left the comment about I wanted to run my Valentine's Day plan past you guys.
Okay, good.
A few years ago, I listened to Steve Dedene's Valentine's Day special. And it was back in the day when it was around when 50 Shades of Grey was coming out and stuff like that. A few years ago, like 2018.
Yes.
So I told myself, if I'm ever single during Valentine's Day, around that time, I'd do it a little different. So this year, Valentine's Day falls on the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So I noticed that, just like you said, the women really don't want to be alone at all during Valentine's Day weekend. They don't want to see pictures on Facebook of girls getting roses and they're just left out. And you guys touched on girls buying themselves gifts and whatnot. It's all true. Yes. So all of January, I just been putting my bid in, say, touching base, planting seeds, distancing myself, just getting ready for these next 2 weeks. These 2 weeks, girls are really like, hey, so what's going on next week? And da-da-da-da. And I'm kind of like, well, I really don't celebrate Valentine's Day. But if you like to have an experience with me, fine. I'm with it. But I really don't do it. So since it's the weekend, we got 3 days open. We got Freaky Friday, Seductive Saturday, and Sinful Sunday. Okay? So which day do you want? So I have girls kind of like, well, what do you mean? What does that mean? And I said, well, listen to what I just said. Freaky Friday, Seductive Saturday, or Sinful Sunday. How are we going to play this out? So she said, well, what do you have in mind? I want to pick. This is all true. I can't make this up. I can't believe they were going for this. But it's just something different. They liked it. So I said, well, Freaky Friday is like, look, you pick whatever you want to wear. I'm going to cook dinner. We're going to have wine. but I'm going to ring a bell at some point in time of that night, and it's just going to get freaky. Now, whatever you want and like, we're going to do. Whatever I want and whatever I like, we're going to do. That's Freaky Friday. Seductive Saturday is, it's all about me. I'm going to please you. Okay? We're going to take the shower. I'm going to lay you in the bed. I'm going to feed you fruit. It's all about you. Sinful Sunday, we're breaking all the rules. That's all I got. I just wanted to run that by you. I was thinking about that, but I got some stuff lined up.
I got a light bulb over my head. George, would you like to go for us, or shall I on this one?
This is all you.
I got a light bulb over my head. Okay. Now, but first, before I say this, now, ladies, please don't judge me because I used to be a whore. So please understand this. Okay. So don't judge me. Caller, what I would say first of what I would do is I put all the names in a hat and do a raffle. I mean, that's what I would do. If you have a lot of women, I'd raffle.
Okay.
The second thing is Freaky Friday. Remember, I always tell you, remember I tell you, have the wine above your bed. Okay. Because remember, when you're talking to the woman, you want to let her know that if you come over, I'm too lazy to go into the kitchen and I have the wine for easy access in between you and me. Now, guy, caller, timestamp this at 1 hour and 11 so you'll know you can go back and listen to this because you don't have time to write all this down. But what do you say is
111.
Yeah, 111.
I got it, 111.
So the reason I have the wine above my bed is because when you come over, I got to tell you a little secret. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pour a little bit of the wine off the wine glass so it hits your body. So then it will give me the opportunity to see if the wine tastes different on your body than it does the glass. Okay. So as far as the Freaky Friday goes, I would do the blindfold and I would do the candles. Okay. Now for Sensual Saturday, is it Sensual? It's Freaky Friday. What's the second thing?
Seductive Saturday.
Okay.
Seductive. Yeah.
It's seductive
Saturday.
Okay, seductive Saturday. If you follow me, that's why I tell you right. But this is what I want you to do. Remember, see, I want you to cater to invest. Okay, invest to get a return on investment. I want you. Remember, I tell you the lights in the shower. I want you to turn the lights off. I want you to put her favorite music on, and I want you to give her an experience with the colored lights coming out for Saturday. Now, Sunday, what you can do for the woman to come over. Your house should be a sexual playground. That means your living room, let's say that's area 1. The kitchen is area 2, bathroom area 3, bedroom area 4. What I would do is I would grab the pieces of paper and let her raffle it off. And if we can get her into the kitchen, that's when we going to go opening that refrigerator up. We're going to get all the fruit, the vegetables. And what I'm going to do, because I'm going to tell her I got a problem. I don't have a plate. So what I want to do is I want you to undress yourself and I want to use your body as my plate. So what I will do is I will put the food all over her body. And what I will do now, man, make sure you clean her up and everything, make it, because I don't want you to eat off some feet that's sweaty and everything. But I want you, I'm serious. I want you to eat the food off of her. But before you eat the food off of her, that's why I tell you to have the canvas, because I want you to paint her naked body. I want you to position her on the carpet and have a mirror behind her butt. So you paint the front side of her, but the mirror is going to show her butt so you can paint the back side of her at the same time. Then when you're done, you get the fruit. Now, not too cold, warm, lukewarm things you place on her body. And what you're going to say is, I don't have a spoon or fork. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my lips and my tongue and eat off of your body the way you want me to eat off your body. George, what you say on that, big dog? George, did you judging me?
Oh my gosh! It's funny. We have in the house in the chat here Tanisha from Chicago.
Yes.
Also, actually, I think EO is from Chicago.
Yes.
And I know Tanisha is probably taking notes. She's one of my followers, a dear friend, and I'm glad she's here. And she said, "Hi, George. Hi, Steve. Great discussion."
Yes.
So there you go.
Yeah. So remember that, okay? Just listen. Remember, man, what you want to do. Look, remember, you got to marinate the meat before you cook it, brother. So what you do, remember, I always tell you, land, sea, air. I want you to send her a voice message or a video message. And I want you to say, you know what? Send me a photo so I can tell you why I'm looking forward to spending either Friday, Saturday, or Sunday with you. And then when they see you in the photo, that's where you say, see, that I got a bone to pick with you. Now, instead of Friday, I think I need to see you right now. I'd like to spend a little time with you. But if you want to get a taste of the experience, check this out now. If you want to get a taste of what you're going to get into, what I want you to do tonight is I want you to turn out the lights. Why? Because if I was there right now, I would turn out the lights because you won't know where my hand is going as I'm undressing you. The next thing I want you to do is get your favorite music on. Why? Okay. Because the rhythm that I'm going to do when I kiss, French kiss, suck and blow on your body and touch and whisper in your ear is going to be the same thing I would do if I was there right now. And then what I want you to do while you're in the shower, what I want you to do is take that towel and let that be my lips and my tongue. And what I want you to do is I want you to explore your body the way you want me to explore your body. And if you want, we can go live on video. Just position me in the shower and let me watch me touch you through the towel and the loofah. I'm just throwing some game, George, because George would do the same thing. George is laughing.
I'm taking notes. Okay. I'm taking notes.
So Steve, I'm the loofah. So I'm the loofah.
Yeah. When she's washing her body, you're the
Am I the loofah?
No. Your lips and your tongue are the things she washes her body with. So what's happening is she's got the lights out. She's listening to her music. So she's imagining your lips and tongue. So when she's washing herself, she's going to wash her body the way she wants. Right. And that's where she's going to get all excited because now you've marinated not the body, but the mind. That's what you got to marinate. Once you marinate that, the experience is going to be better. George.
Build the anticipation. I got it.
It all starts here. It all starts in the head. It does. Yes. It does. I don't. It's so funny because the girls that joined us recently, I don't think they expected this, but you know what?
Yeah, that's a live call. Anything can happen live.
That's funny.
Yes,
that is funny.
Yes, yeah. So you can make it a very experience, George. Yes.
All right, so let's go with this. We'll change that topic. I dated a gal years ago, and I observed her parents. They were very harmonious, and they got along really well. And mom made dinner, and and just like clockwork. When dinner was done, dad would get up and make coffee. He'd cut the pie, and he'd bring the pie over and cake and all that stuff like that. And I remember saying to him, "Look at Lana. She just says I need some cold water." That's funny. And I asked the dad, I said, how do you guys get along so well? And he said, a long time ago, we decided that she changes the diapers and I change the tires, which he was referring to the division of labor in the house. Like they had a very clear division of labor. She took care of the babies. She cooked, she cleaned. He was mowing the lawn, took care of the cars. There was a very clear division of labor. In the Williams household, how is the division of labor in your home? Or how was it? Or how is it? Has it changed?
I'm in a weird situation. I'm telling you, the biggest joke in the house is that she's not of this world. She should have been back in 1855 because she wants to do it's like I want to do things. She always beats me to it. She's like, it's my duty to cook. It's my duty to, and again, I'm not putting a gun in her head. This is just her personality. You're my husband. You lead. Like you're saying, I do the cooking. You go ahead and take care of the manly things. And if I need help, I know I can call you. I know you're accessible. I can always call you to do that. And it's just always been that way, George. But see, the thing that kept us bonded wasn't that. It was that, but it was also something that a lot of men don't do with their women is that they lose the luster of the intimacy. Intimacy is so important, guys. It's so important. Guys, please get your crayons out on this one. If you are in a relationship with somebody, listen, My woman can't walk through that door, bend over, take a shower, take her clothes. It's like a lightning but it's like a Spidey signal that I could be playing my video game. Oh, she's taking a shower right now. And I just drop her stuff and run. And she's got to lock the door because I can't keep my hands off of her. And until this day, it's still the same way. And that's what keeps things going. She says she doesn't like it, but she knows she loves it because as women begin tend to get older, they feel not as sexy and they feel, oh, I'm getting wrinkles and I don't feel as pretty. But I always tell her, you always look the first day like the same person. The first day I met you, you've never changed in my eyes. So, and I always tell her, I look forward to her getting white hair. She thinks I'm crazy. She thinks I'm like got a granny fetish or something because I'm like, you're gonna be hot as a lady with white hair. I'm looking forward to that. She's like, you're sick, but it's a combination of that plus knowing our roles, but knowing that the roles can switch. It's not just her doing it because, like I told you before, George, if I know she's having a bad day, relax. Hey, no, I got you. I'll pick up the slack. I have no problem cleaning, cooking, doing the dishes, laundry. I'm self-sufficient, and again, it's a race to that, George, because it's like when I try to get the basket and I go in another room to grab some clothes, and that's how we play with each other, but she'll grab the clothes and run into the thing. So, but as a man, you got to be able to do all things, brother.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Who does the cooking in the Williams household? Do you do it? Does she do it? Do you both do it?
I'm more about desserts. George, I can make desserts. I can cook okay because see, George, I grew up on hamburger hell. See, when I didn't have money and I was barely scraping, I was living off of TV dinners, ramen noodles, cereal, and hamburger helpers. So that was my thing. I didn't, I'm not a 5-star chef, but I can make desserts now. I'm a king of desserts, George. I got a thing on my website teaching guys how to make desserts. That's my thing. But as far as the cooking, that's her thing. Look, Jared's is crazy. That's her jam. She doesn't want me to cook at all, no matter how much I try. No, that's her thing. If that's her jam, George, I'm not going to fight her because she feels that that's the duty of the wife. So that's just how she feels.
That's how she serves you. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Yeah. What about apologizing? Do you ever apologize to your kids?
No, I don't apologize. I talk to them. I don't apologize. I talk to them. I have to let them know that what they did was not right, or this is why I did what I did. But I'm not going to be sorry for what I did because I'm not going to lose power of the household. They know from Jump Street, and this is because we got a weird family. They all get along. I'm not saying we come from another planet. All the kids get along. They don't stomp. They don't argue. They don't fight. They just like a band of their own little banshees that work together sometimes. But if they mess up, which is very, very rare, if they are punished, they're gonna get punished. I won't apologize, but I will after a while tell them I love them just because that's how my dad did me. Hey, George, you know what I mean. Back in the day, when they gave you whippings, they move your hand and all that stuff, and don't cry. I'm gonna give you something to cry. And then after it's all over, when you, and then they want to come in there and talk about they love you. Oh, I want to hear that. You like, Joe, I want to hear that thing. But now I understand that. Listen, I did it because if you go down this road or have that thought, that can spin you off the track to start doing. And again, I'm not judging people for smoking or drinking or doing drugs, but see, I don't drink or do drugs, so we're kind of like a drug-free, drink-free house. The kids, we just don't do it. The kids don't do it. Even when we celebrate New Year's and try to bring some champagne, the kids like, nah, I don't drink. I don't want to drink this stuff. But that's how I set things up. But I don't want to keep them off track. Now, I'm not saying they can't get off track, George, but so far so good because everything that I have as an end result combined to what I was before I even created the kids, man.
I like that. Let's see. One person says, please talk more about the balance between having a clear division of tasks versus self-sufficiency. I'm very self-sufficient, but I want to set up clear divisions. Well, I think everything has to be agreed upon
Yes.
in the household or as a couple. I know I cook, I clean, I do everything. I don't need a mommy. I don't need a maid. I do well by myself. It's going to be hard for me when I get married in the future to be able to turn over cooking to a woman if she wants to cook because I love cooking.
Yeah.
I don't like cleaning though. I can't stand cleaning. I'll make I'll make the most incredible meal in the kitchen, but I just I dread the stack of dishes in the sink. I hate loading a dishwasher. I hate clearing the dishwasher, emptying it, and all that stuff. So I think I think both people have to decide what they want to do and what's going to get done. I mean, if both people hate cleaning, you're going to have just a horrible looking house. Then you both got to just suck it up and
Yeah. Yeah. George, one thing I learned is I always talk about you got to see yourself as a company. You got to see yourself as the head of the company. But as the head of the company, you've got to learn what you're doling out, but why you're doling it out. You just can't. I don't want you guys just to dole things out for women to say, this is what you got to do. I'm man, blah, blah, blah. I'm caveman. No, this is where the communication comes in at. Let me know what you do good. What do you do good? Like George, you love to cook. And if she loves to cook, that's where we compromise. You know what? I can do what Monday, Wednesday, Saturday. You do Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, and that way, and then on the seventh day or whatever, we just go out to dinner ourselves or something. And we'll both take a break. But it's doling. It's and now remember, Recoil, this is all before you meet a woman. And that's where a lot of guys wait for it to happen in his face. And then they say, oh no, what am I do? You've got to know what it is you want before you walk out that door. Before you walk out the door, you've got to know that. Know what roles that you want for the woman. But remember, the meeting and dating role is different than the relationship role. The relationship role is different than moving in together. Moving in together is different than engagement. Engagement is different than marriage. What guys go wrong, George, is they go from this all the way to the marriage without having some type of powwow standing and understanding of roles that we're going to have as we're going up. Because you got my hammer. It looks like you got my hammer. It looks like you're getting close to my name. It looks like you're getting close to my kids. So we got to have small little powwows of understanding and clarity so there can never be any disruption. You see, that's why I never had in 21 years, my woman's only been mad at me not even mad. She's been upset at me 5 times. George, has been my fault. Only 5 times in 21 years because she knows I'm a workaholic. I work till like 3, 4 in the morning. And sometimes I get a little tired, George, and I fall asleep in my chair right here. She only wants me to come to bed when I'm tired. So 5 times I messed up. That's on me. But we had that understanding as we were talking of, I'm a workaholic. This is what I do. I'm always grinding. I'm always working. So we got to have roles. If you need me for the kids, if you need anything, just I'll drop what I'm doing, George. And I will go and do whatever we need to do as a team, because the key word, Team Williams. It's not just Williams' wife and kids. It's Team Williams, because when you take my name, you get all the benefits of me. I am there to work with you and see things through, brother.
Lana says, divide the tasks, but men, teach her how to change a lawnmower blade, fix a toilet, stuff that they need to know how to do if something was to happen to you. Yeah, I mean, there's things that you do around your house, Steve.
Yes.
That if you ended up passing away,
yes,
is your wife ready to take the steering wheel? Is she ready to be the leader of the house if you are gone?
Again, George, before I walk out that door, before I meet a woman, I already know that, because one thing I always tell everybody before I even in my shows, I always tell them, before you go to bed at night, think about the graveyard. Always remember everybody in there had one thing in common, and they thought they had tomorrow coming to them, and we don't have tomorrow coming to us. So we got to live every day like it's our last. But knowing that, having that mindset when I was young, I was kind of, because I love Scrooge. I love Scrooge. I mean, he's the ultimate a-hole. I love him. But what was great about Scrooge that I learned was there was a future, past, and present. So what I had to do is think in those terms of while I'm here, or how after what happens if I die while the kids are young and all this other stuff. So we had to have a plan, and that was part of the marriage thing, that if in case of death in any one of us, there has to be a plan already in place so we can move forward. And most people don't think about it. Not to bring up death, but things happen. But I'm always, George, I'm always prepared. I'm always prepared, brother.
Yeah, I remember the last time that we had a little talk. You said your wife is a planner, and she got you into like a 1-year plan, a 5-year plan,
Yes,
that whole, and that seriously made an impression on me. And I thought, man, that is smart. I mean, that is just, that right there is a book. That right there is a whole conference.
Yes.
The 1, 5, 10, and 20-year plan for a marriage or for families. And, to know if you're on track. How do you know if you're on track or not if you don't set measurable goals?
Right. Yeah. So we started. Yeah, it was the first plan. Okay, we started off in an apartment. So the next plan was, after the apartment, what we're going to do is lease a house. And then when we leased a house, then after 5 years, we're going to buy a house. And then after we bought a house, the next plan was build a house. We built a house. But now we're in a 6,000 square feet, 7-bedroom house that we built from the ground up. And we only have one kid in there. Got a bunch of dogs, a ferret, I think a rabbit, like a partridge in a pear tree type thing. So we got those things, but we've got a big house right now and it's empty. So the next phase that we planned already was that we're going to get 3 acres of land. We're going to buy 3 acres of land, and we're going to build something for us, something for room for the grandkids, and something for her parents to live in a casita type thing. So, but this started in the beginning where we didn't have, but we realized that, we're going to cut the corners. We don't have to buy. I don't have to buy anything expensive. Don't buy me anything for Christmas. Don't buy me anything. I don't need that. That's how we were. If we're going to buy, we're buying for the kids, because I believe Christmas is for kids. So that was the thing. We're going to buy for the kids. We have birthdays. She got me into this thing called unbirthday gifts, because I don't know why. George, you know why you got that. You know why you got your Christmas gift, right? It wasn't me. I love you, George, but it was her, because her thing is this. Ever since I've known her, if we do something for one, she wants it done for everybody that I'm associated with, because she doesn't want to have anyone feel left out. That's why you got your Christmas present. George got a Christmas present from me, but anyway, but not to say what it was in there, but it was because that her mindset is everybody should be involved type thing. That's just how she thinks. But
I like that.
Started from the beginning, George, that pushed us to now. Our last son's junior. He's in his junior year, getting ready to be a senior. So now we're whittling down to get ready to sell this house, to get the 3 acres of land, to start building on that to fit. That's the end game, grandparent mode right there. So we have nailed every step. Now we're hitting the end result. Not the end, but the end of the house and stuff.
I love that. Well, first of all, thank you to Mrs. Williams for the Christmas gift.
Yeah, I love you, dog, but it wasn't me. I was like, man, come on, baby. I'm not just playing, George. No, I was cool with it.
I love it. I love it. Well, this is a good evening that we're having here. I think, like we talked about a week ago, I would love to do this like once a month, just have a regular show like this with you. Okay. I know we have like kind of a topic with some, like an outline, but we kind of go off on little tangents and talk about things. And that's what makes this kind of fun. And that's what brings people in. And, we had a lot of people on tonight who don't have children. So we talked about stuff that would be of interest to them as well. A lot of times just single topic shows only attract a very narrow segment of people. But I love the fact that we talked about all kinds of things here tonight. So I don't know what we'll talk about next time around, but
top it up, man. That's what we do.
Is this good for you? Is this Thursday night thing a good night for you?
Yes, George. White chocolate, I keep telling you, dog. He's smoother than the other side of the pillow. But white chocolate, man, I'm telling you, man, we get together, we just chop it up. We can talk for hours. It doesn't
Absolutely.
in the chat room. We love you guys. Y'all ask questions. It's not just for married men. It could be single men, but we just want to bring back manhood. We want to bring back the man and bring back the woman and bring them back together instead of the evils out there that are telling you not to get married and not to be with a woman and not to start a family. I want to show you guys that George not being married is the happiest man that I know because George
Absolutely.
loves George wakes up and say, "Hey, George, what's up, George?" And his baby like, "Hey, what's up, George? I love you too, dog." You know, that's how George is with George. And then you got me. I'm out the game, but look, I'm success. But I'm not trying to get you to be me, or George is not trying to get you to him. We're just giving you the tools that you can utilize in your life to have the successes that you want.
I love it. Tell everybody where they can find you and the different things that they can that you offer them.
Yeah, okay, guys, first off, all the chat room, I call y'all the chat room dogs. Thank you very much. I ask you guys, please get the likes up for George. George is a great man. I know George ain't going to ask, but I love George enough. Get them likes up with my dog, George. Just do is a white chocolate, click that like button. But anyway, guys, themanmindset.com, guys, it is for men by a man that I teach you a lifestyle. We have got a cooking show on there. We have a dating chat line for you guys. We have podcast shows for you guys. I do live shows. And I teach you how to text women. I teach you how to be a man with a woman. I teach you how to kiss. I teach you how to make out. I will teach you even for beginners. I'm opening up Manhood U, Man Mindset U for beginners because of the COVID, George, because a lot of guys are having problems communicating with women. So I'm about to open that up for guys. But the thing is, guys, is all I'm trying to do is show you that at the end of the day, there's two major things I want to say to these guys. Number one, you were already a winner, and I won't accept anything less because you were the one that got to the egg. You didn't need YouTube. You didn't need hypergamy. You didn't need all those goofy things that people are saying. You needed yourself, and you got to the egg. And I just want to show you why you're a winner. And number two, you got to realize that you are the only one of your kind. And how do you know that? The fingerprint on your finger says that there's nobody else out there like you. And what I try to do, George, is I try to get them to learn their own language, not my language, not the language of George, but you have a language all to yourself that you just need to process and learn. But George, man, dude, this is what we do, white chocolate. This is great, man. I love this, man. This is my dog, man. It's my dog.
Well, you are definitely one of the friends that I love spending time with. I think I'm trying to think, did I meet you at the Patriarch event? Is that where I met you?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
It was at Patriarch, and then
clicked.
And then we saw each other we were in Poland.
Poland, yes.
I think, were you the only black guy in Poland?
George? No, you and I were the only black guys in Poland.
I'm telling you.
It was this, hey guys, don't think it was me. I wasn't the only black
guy. Honest to God. I mean, Poland is very white. Poland is very white.
Very white. Oh yeah. George, what's weird was, I don't want to stereotype me, but when I was trying to give me some chicken and grape soda, I was kind of looking around like, oh my God, a little grape soda chicken. I mean, that's just my little stress-free. But yeah, but George and I were the only black people in Poland.
That's it. That is it. That's funny. And then, of course, I have seen you at every conference since then, and I think you're just you're a regular part of the outreach to men. And you, like me, probably get a lot of messages that are something like, you're the father that I never had. You're the big brother that I never had.
Yeah, Unc. They call me Unc.
Unc, yeah.
Yeah. And I love that. I love that, George. I think because, listen, I'm sorry that you didn't have, but if I can be the uncle you never had, I welcome you with open arms. I'll love you like you're my nephew, and I will do everything I can to equip you with what you need to handle what's out in that world. I welcome all. It doesn't matter what color you are. You're a man to me. And I love that, George.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we're going to be doing this again. Thursday night is a good night. We're going to do it once a month. We're going to have a nice collaboration. And we'll just see where it goes. I think this was a lot of fun. I think a lot of people are going to be talking about this. And there's going to be some great comments tomorrow. When I wake up tomorrow and look at this video, there's going to be a lot of people that love this. So I can be found here on YouTube and also at gab.com, which is kind of like my Twitter. I got banned off of Twitter 2 weeks ago. I don't know why, but I got banned. All that being said, I am quite accessible on most social media. If you just search for me, I'm there. So I just want to give a big thanks to Steve the Dean Williams. Oh, look at that. There we go.
Look at that smooth. Hey, Poland. Hey, the people in Poland like, my God, look at the black guy. He's got a beard. I'm telling you.
I just want to say thank you for being on the show tonight. And this is a regular thing. This is going to be a regular thing. You're not like a special guest now. You are a regular member of this show and beloved by my audience, and the people that showed up in the chat love this. They loved it because I normally am very reserved. I do, my morning show. It's very quiet, whatever. And I never get a chance to do something in the evenings. And I'm glad I had a chance. And I mean, think about it. We had a lot of people stop in tonight.
Yes.
And that was cool. That was cool.
Want to say real quick, George. Hey, guys, he's all reserved. Like, hey, how you doing? I'm George Bruno and everything. But when he get with me, he go back to 1975. When were you in the studio and the thing when he was scratching records, talking to women? We like, what's up, girl? I'm George Bruno. What's up? How you doing, girl? See, I'm bringing that old George out. Look at it. Hey, look, y'all see his things coming out? Look at that man. Look at him.
I was the original Quiet Storm. That's right.
That's the rich. I tell you.
I was. A lot of people don't know that.
That's my dog.
Excellent. So people know how to reach Steve. You know how to reach me. Look for us again. We have to figure out, is it going to be like the first Thursday of every month or something like that? So,
George, however you want to do it. I'm there for.
Okay, so that's what we'll do. Everyone is loving the collaboration in the chats. That's awesome. So thank you, everybody. Be strong. Thank you, Steve Williams. I appreciate your wisdom. I appreciate you as a brother, as a friend.
Oh, wait a second, George. George, I gotta hold on. I mean, I took the belt from George. Y'all don't realize this. I took the belt from George and everything. See, White Chocolate was so busy on the radio back in 75, I kind of clocked him in his head and stole his belt. See, right now I'm holding the George Bruno belt of manhood right now. And I just changed it to my face right now. But this should be George's right now. I'm just holding it for him right now, George.
I love it.
I'm just holding it for you.
I love it. Great stuff. Thank you, everybody, for showing up. I appreciate it. And show some love to Steve at his channel. Check out his channel. And what do you cover in your channel?
On my channel, I cover everything. I cover relationships. I cover texting. I cover talking, approaching. I cover the first date. Like I told guys, I show you how to have wine above your bed. I cover that. I cover how you approach, how you text, how you go on your first date, how you set up your laws, your rules, your codes, your principles, your narratives, how you cook dinner, what you do on Valentines. I go on. I do everything, George, because I am, as a man, I try to be all things. So I can teach all things, just like you, brother. I teach all things, man. All things, man.
I remember, when we were doing, there was a whole bunch of us, like on a Zoom call. We were doing a video, and I would always play those first few notes from the Marvin Gaye song, "Let's Get It On." Do you remember when I would do that?
Yes,
every now and then? And that would always get a laugh out of a few people. Some people that just went right over their head.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
Hey,
All right, folks.
yeah, white chocolate. Just hey guys, his new name, white chocolate. Guys, when y'all say hi to him, say hi, white chocolate. That's his name, white chocolate, because he's smoother than the other side of the pillow. Remember that, guys.
And with that, we'll say good night, and I'll see you all soon.
Good night.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.